course I do. .336. That's the game, baby.
For the sun, Shawty got my heart, I ain't tripping for the fun. Yeah, I won't start, I ain't tripping, I'm a stunt.
What's going on, guys? Look, this whole last few weeks we've been super busy here at the shop. We've been having to clean everything up from all the riding we've been doing and lack of washing, so everything's been completely muddy and dirty. We also got a few things we've got to change out on some of these machines before these upcoming events, such as the Defender and the North Star. So not sure what it is, guys, but every time we take the North Star out, like probably about 3 or 4, maybe 5 times on the roads, because it is street legal, she likes to burn the belt up for some reason, so the clutches won't engage quite as fast. I think that's what it is, because last time we blew a belt, you guys seen it on my Snapchat whenever I had to get towed back by the Jeep. Well, the old Jeep does come in handy after all. It is now towing the North Star back. Wow. Still got air conditioning though, baby. We cool. So now we're going to pull this belt box off because On Kill Power Sports has sent us another belt. Plus, on the Defender, we out of nowhere, after fast tracks, the front brake line just started pouring brake fluid. I have no idea if it's a brake line, a master cylinder, or what, but let's go ahead and get started and get cracked into some of this stuff and see what we can't find out.
See, I let Joe drive the Defender at fast tracks and he comes back and the brake line's blown out.
It was not my fault.
It doesn't look like it's coming from where it like necessarily bolts up to the caliper. It's almost like where the flange is, where I guess they crimp it to make the brake line.
That's definitely not my fault. All I did was push it to stop.
I was thinking at first, you mean that time it done that thing where it caught on fire?
Yeah, let's go whenever the whole, like the passenger side blew up.
That was the passenger side. This is the driver's side. But I don't know. I guess
you've had a heck of a time with brakes on this thing. But you do have 2 brand new brake lines here we just got in from Super ATV. So hopefully this is what's going to do the trick to fix this thing. Because like I said, guys, on the inside this wheel was just covered with nothing but brake fluid when we got back from fast tracks.
From the master cylinder down to where it comes out to this T on the front, held in by like a 12 millimeter, I do believe. The new brake out loose, so we can get the old one.
Don't you know, I can't get in there at all and see nothing.
The old brake line's broke loose. And you just gonna have to, might have to get the light.
Yeah, I can't see nothing what's going on inside there, but I know it's a T, was like some kind of T in there or something?
Yeah, it's coming from the master cylinder and it tees off to come out to each brake caliper.
Gotcha.
Alright, so I got the old T off, and so really what we're working with here with these Super ATV lines, I'm guessing these other lines are high lifter lines that they sent, but technically this flange piece that's on the Super ATV line is made into the T on this one. So the new T is obviously not gonna take this line because it's like 2 of the same thing. So we gotta replace it all from the master cylinder to the T, then out.
Just to get to that one brake line.
One brake line, so we're gonna do all of them. So we had to come, like I said, from all the way from the master cylinder to the T that we had to replace as well because those new Super ATV lines are different than these old high lifter ones.
So she shouldn't leak now, right?
I hope not.
If all goes well.
But it is ours.
Yeah, if it's got anything to do with us, something's going to go wrong.
Right. So I believe every Can-Am takes .4.
I'm pretty sure it's going to work.
That on hand.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll work either way.
Popped old hood on it.
Now that it's all leaked out on the ground.
And the wheel and all that.
Might as well go ahead and keep it pretty clean under here. Is it all empty right there?
Pretty much.
Oh, it's 100% empty.
Leaked all out. I reckon we'll top it off and if you'll do the pedal pushing.
I guess we can go ahead and knock it out.
Alright, so I got the new brake lines on the Defender. So I say I probably should jump over and help Joe get this belt replaced on the North Star.
Alright guys, I don't know what it is, but every time we drive this thing like over 45, 50 mile an hour, some reason or other, this thing goes to slipping on me or something. Like it was doing it at Fall Bash. We haven't replaced it since then. It's been like what, since Mud Bash whenever we blew the first belt? On Kill Power Sports has sent us another belt in. I think it's like the Mud Monster belt through Super ATV. I'm pretty sure it is. I haven't opened the box yet. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this cover off and we gotta see what's going on with that because we got some big events going. New Year's coming up. We got some Christmas parades we gotta be in with these 2 things. To even get to the belt box this thing, just about anything you even work on with the belt box is gonna be a pain in the butt to get to besides the Renegade. This thing, you gotta take the whole entire air box off this thing. So you're gonna need a 10mm socket and of course a electric ratchet if you have one because those are way better than a regular ratchet. Just to take all this off though, it gives you a lot more room to get to it besides like that front top left bolt, J-Money.
Right, it's terrible.
Like when you was a kid in school and you used to take the markers and stick them together, that was the whiteboard markers and they'd be like, you know, bent all the way up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All right, well that's what you gotta do with extensions on here to even get to that one back bolt with a swivel on the end of it. You gotta kind of like play with it to get in there.
Right.
This is the worst part, so let's just go ahead and try to tackle that. And like I said, it's already started. This is just for the top bolts and going across the top of the clutch box. Already got 2 extensions together. This is not as bad to get to. But once you start getting around the sides and the bottom of this thing, oh, it's pretty ridiculous. Now that we've got every bolt off this thing, we had to hold our tongue right. You gotta hold it right again to get the box out itself, the lid. That's about the job itself. There's a certain way you gotta get in here and Mike, my nails, I'm supposed to be getting done, my manicure, my pedicure, whatever you call it. Oh my gosh, dude, this air box is right in it. Even though we loosen it and raise it up, it's just right in the way. I don't get it. This is the time you insert 1 hour later, 3 days later, and it finally comes off.
3 days later.
All right, I had to put the camera down for a minute, and Jay Money had to help out with this one because I think it was a two-man job to hold the air box up, get this thing slid out. Right. I wonder if it would be that hard if Big Boy Customs was making us one for this thing.
I don't know.
Big Boy Customs, if you're watching, hey, you know, I know you make these for Defenders now. Do you make them for North Stars? Because it might actually help me get this thing off more and more instead of fighting it. Be nice. So my thing is, the belt actually don't look that worn, which kind of scares me because I hope it's not my clutches going out. But that belt, I mean, it might be a little shaved on the edges, but it's not like worn. Like it's not like shredded up to pieces and stuff hanging off of it. Which really ain't a great sign. Still gonna replace the belt just to see what happens because he did send us a new one. But I was looking forward to seeing like, you know, little shredded pieces, little frays hanging off of it. There is some dust all over the clutches as a primary and secondary. I've also heard that if you leave the belt box off, if you go to a lot of street riding, it won't get as hot in there. So might have to do that for a while because we don't have really any mud and things coming out like events, any like big mud and parks. So we leave the belt box off for the parades, for the, you know, just the cruising up and down Main Street and stuff. We'll just have to test it out. I don't know. So we'll just leave the belt box off and see if it really actually helps it stay a lot cooler than inside of a box.
Right.
So I'll tell you what, before we go through the hassle of actually having to change that belt, why don't you crank it up and let's see it run and see if that primary is open and closing the way it should. Are you in gear? Park? It's in park. I'll rev it up just a little bit. I hope that's doing right. Is that secondary supposed to spin along with it?
A little bit.
Well, it spun just as fast as the primary.
Yeah, we're not in gears.
Alright, try to just put it in reverse, see what you can do. Back up with it, maybe go forward with it a little bit. We'll see, guys. I don't know what's going to happen here. Alright, whoa. So what might could be happening, not 100% sure, because like I said, we've never really had to replace a Polaris clutch or anything like that. You guys might can help me out if you guys know what's going on right here down in the comments. I don't think it's really the clutches. It could be. So that belt is a little bit thinner now. Like the walls are shaved down more at an angle, maybe because that belt's been burned a few times. I don't know. The new belt does look like it's a little bit wider, so we could maybe replace it and see if it kicks in and grabs it faster instead of having to let it rev up for like, what was it, 1,200 to 1,400 RPMs, J-Money? Before it ever squeezes that belt and starts turning the secondary. Let's try taking the old belt off and putting this new belt on. And I got just the thing, Off-Road Outlaws, Jeremy hooked us up with the 1/4 bolt that actually goes for it to take that secondary and loosen it up so you can get the belt out of there. Now I'm hoping it is the belt so we don't have to replace some kind of clutching issue with this thing because that wouldn't be good at all. I'm hoping that's not what it is, but let's at least try the new belt first. Right. It's not that hard. I think once it gets probably tighter, you're probably gonna need a pair of pliers or something to grab that thing.
Yeah, it's just a handle or something on it.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, it gets tight right there.
Yeah.
Definitely probably going to put a pair of pliers on it. It does go in there and twist, but it needs like a little bit longer of a handle. Yeah. Well, she's finally out. That thing don't look like it's that really worn at all, is it?
No, it's a G-boost too. I mean,
it's not even that bad at all. So I'm really starting to think maybe what if it is the clutches or something inside the clutches. Is it a throwout bearing, kind of like it was on Big Gate?
I mean, there's a one-way.
Or yeah, one-way, that's what it is, yeah.
On this primary, but
yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, let's at least open the new box up that Josh sent us from On Kill, and then we'll have that for a spare. At least we need to get somewhere, and we'll at least see if it, you know, could be wearing from the sides, like straight down, and not, you know, just spraying up. All right, there it is. There's the new belt. That's a G-Boost, just like the other one. Extreme Badass Super ATV Performance belt. Now, I wonder if it's any wider. See how they're not tapered down? Like, see how it's not like, you know, it tapers down?
I think it does that over time. I mean, for engaging. But
now, I don't know if it really matters, but don't they always say that you want it to be on there where you can read the words so the belt's on the right way?
Some of them have a rotation thing, but I don't see one on these. So
yeah, all right, well,
word deal.
Throw this back on there, guys, and we'll put the secondary plate back on.
On the Rangers, the torque spec for the secondary is 40 foot-pounds. We're gonna get her 40 foot-pounds and Get this thing back on the road.
Let's hope so, anyways. Let's hope so. Fingers are crossed. Maybe you're having a compression spring.
I guess. What the actual?
Well, it is the next day, okay? And I don't even know where to start with this. This is kind of a bummer. So you guys always ask us a lot for some behind the scenes footage or filming of what we do, I guess, because you all should know it's not perfectly sunshines and rainbows. All you see is what's on camera, what we edit, what we put on the video. I just said screw it, let's show you guys, because this is one of those times. This is one of those times that this probably would not have made it into a video, but I was like, you know what, let's just show them really what goes on at this shop. As you notice, there's nothing in here besides both my Harleys, and there's 2 seats there. And of course, Rennie. Say hello to everybody. The North Star and Defender's outside. But for that being said, the Defender had to drag the North Star out of its bay right here. Had to drag it outside. Man, I don't even know where to go with this. This is crazy. Anyways, change the belt, right? So let's just sit down and show you guys. All right, so if you guys remember, there is this little handy dandy tool that you screw into the secondary, which is a 1/4-20, and that loosens the secondary up to where you guys or anybody can take the belt off. Oh, wait a minute, why is it broken? Oh, that's right, because the rest of it's right here. It actually broke itself off in the secondary right there. Ain't that something? So we go to drill it out and, you know, get the rest of that little 1/4-20 out of the secondary with an extractor kit. Make a little drill hole and use extractor kit, which is like left-hand thread, which goes down in there and it spins the bolt out in a perfect world. Well, we don't live in a perfect world in either of these videos, so the extractor broke off inside of the 1/4-20. Well, here's another little thing. Extractors are hardened steel. If you guys on here that's watching the video right now, and you don't know anything about like hardened steel and trying to drill hardened steel, it don't work. Drill bits ain't gonna eat through hardened steel like that, and it caused some more issues. So we had to make the hole much, much larger. That's why the hole goes over to the right and all that other good stuff. That way we could knock it over this way once we got that hole dug, because you can't drill through hardened steel. Finally, we got it out and we're like, okay, all is well. All we do is just pop the secondary off, put the belt on, put the secondary back on. Simple, right? No, it's not simple. It's not simple. Because we get the secondary off, put the belt on, we put the secondary back on, it lines just up perfect. We spring it, you know, push it hard, springs in there, we get the threads to start on that 10mm bolt that holds the secondary on, which is called the secondary bolt. We look up, we also call Josh at Captain America at On Kill Power Sports, and we look it up also on our phones, and it calls for 40 pounds of torque for that 10mm bolt on your secondary bolt. Well, that last part y'all seen before it come to me on the video was Jay with a torque wrench. And then, yeah, you got that. A broken secondary bolt. Bam. What do you think about that? Anything? Let's show you guys what it looks like on the North Star perspective where that's broke off at. Ta-da! Here she sits. She's sitting right out here outside of the shop with the box off, with no cover on it. I know it's really dark for you guys. Let me turn that up just a touch. There's your primary. That's where your secondary goes. Well, there's supposed to be a cover there with a belt on it as well. There's not. If you look, you're not gonna be able to see it, but down in that hole, it's about 2 inches deep in there. All right, so I just want to show you guys this. I went and got a flashlight so you guys can kind of see what we're talking about here. So in there, there's the rest of the bolt. Yep, it's just chilling in there, about 1.5 inches, 2 inches deep. And trust me, when it broke, it's not broke flush either. It's which means now we've got to figure out how to get a drill bit in there and extractor or whatever, and who's to say that won't break again like it did in the shop on the secondary plate itself. A lot to figure out here at the Mafia headquarters, guys, and trust me, it's not always just beautiful rainbows over here. Trust me, we have our problems just as much as anybody else, but we do try to manage to make it look good on camera for you guys. Just like when we built the new red Defender, a lot of problems, trust me. A lot of issues, but we made it look possible. So yeah, it's been a freaking, you know what, it's been a hell of a show here at the Mafia headquarters. Let me tell you something, guys. 9 times out of 10, this happens to us. I don't know why, but it's, you know, we don't always put it on camera because we want you guys to be not bored with the mess, because you guys got your own problems. Well, we do too, don't worry. Don't act like, don't think that everything we do just falls together, because we were supposed to have that thing done. We was gonna make a little bit where we go out in town, go up Main Street with it and cruise and get people's opinions on it and like ask some funny questions questions to people at a gas station or at a store or pull through drive-thrus with it and video all that for you guys to see, but it's not gonna happen on this video just because, for simple fact, we gotta figure out how to get that broken part of that stud off out of that output shaft for the secondary. We can't even get the secondary back on right now. We got a lot to fix. We got some big stuff coming up. We got a parade coming up. We have New Year's Bash coming up. We've got some big events that you guys are gonna wanna see us there at with our machines in tip-top shape, riding and performing for you guys. So if you will, please, to help us make our day a little better and maybe make your day, smash that thumbs up, leave us a comment, make sure you subscribe, guys. We're so freaking close to 100,000. We're like 9,000 away. It would mean the world to me if you guys make sure you subscribe, share it around, please. Get everybody you know watching our videos, sharing our videos, subscribing, leaving the likes, the comments, and visit our website, 336mudmafia.com, for all your off-road 336 Mud Mafia merchandise. It's authentic, it's amazing, it's comfortable, it looks super freaking sick. Who wouldn't want to wear it? And one more big last thing before I go. This is the most important thing I'm gonna tell you guys. The holidays are here. Please take my advice on this. Spend as much time as you can with your family, your friends, the friends that you call you family, and all your loved ones, guys. Thanksgiving is right around the corner. I know you guys are seeing this a couple days before Thanksgiving, but I hope each and every one of you guys have a happy Thanksgiving. Spend all that time with your family, eat a lot of food, and we'll catch y'all on the next one.